Good morning. How's everyone? Good. Well, that was pathetic, but how's everyone? Good. I hope so. Happy Mother's Day, happy rainy Sunday, happy Buddha's birthday. Fun fact. Welcome to the Morristown Unitarian Fellowship. My name is Stearns Matthews. I'm the director of music ministries here, and I'm joined on stage, or on the chancel, by all the people. So I invite you to rise and join us in our gathering song, The Rainbow Connection.
Good morning, I'm Kathy Cacavelli, your Sunday associate, and I have a couple of announcements to share, and so does Liz Roper.
That's my cue. Okay, so this morning, I'm so happy to be part of this service, and I'm in costume. I know you can't tell. It's true. But also, jeans are good for me today because today we're helping sort out the books in the RE library between services and after the second service. So if anyone would like to come help, I will say we will be getting rid of some books. So if you would like to come and help, maybe take some home, come and do that. The other piece is that all parents, be aware that we might be getting in touch with you at some point over the next few weeks for a little conversation.
And as you know, we have a big summer planned. Our building will be closed from June 3rd through June 17th. You are invited to schedule meetings off-site or enjoy a time of rest and relaxation. Sunday services will be held off-site during this time, and we will share the exciting final details starting next week. Or now. Lewis Morris Park on June 9th. Woo. The Arboretum just up the road on June 16th. Members of the congregation are invited to attend the annual meeting on June 2nd, that's before the building closes, directly after the 10 a.m. service. Information for the meeting will be distributed in the coming weeks via email and will be available on Sundays. We are sailing to great places and wrapping up the annual pledge campaign. If you haven't turned in your pledge card yet, and we know you are thinking about it, please drop it in the big box at the stewardship table in the Great Hall. Folks from the pledge drive are available to answer questions. I think just look for sailor hats. You can still make a contribution to BLUU, Black Lives of Unitarian Universalism. The link to donate is in our weekly e-blast, or place a check in the offering basket with BLUU in the memo line, or text to give and put special collection in the drop-down box. And now I welcome you to greet your neighbors you're sitting next to that you may not have come with this morning.
Somebody come and play. Somebody come and play today. Somebody come and smile the smiles and sing the songs. It won't take long. Somebody come and play today. Somebody come and play. Somebody come and play my way. Somebody come and rhyme the rhymes and laugh the laughs. It won't take time. Somebody come and play today. Somebody come with me and see the pleasure in the wind. Somebody come before it gets too late to begin. Somebody come and play. Somebody come and play today. Somebody come and be my friend and watch the sun till it rains again. Somebody come and play today. Depending on who you're asking, I'm either a very young Gen Xer or a very old millennial. Growing up when I did, it's no surprise that the Muppets were a huge part of my childhood. What 1980s 5-year-old wouldn't be memorized by those fuzzy, hilarious, colorful, irreverent, human-like creatures? I connected so deeply with them as characters that the incredible artistry that went into making them didn't even occur to me until I was an adult. For my purposes, Bert and Ernie and Big Bird and Kermit and Gonzo were people, dear friends who I could turn to whenever I needed a laugh or a cry or a bit of wisdom. To this day, I find myself quoting the Muppet movie or Follow That Bird on a regular basis, and not always as a joke. The evolution of this service today came out of my experience as a cabaret singer. The quick explanation of what the art of cabaret is that it's an intimate art form where typically the performer isn't playing a character, and typically the fourth wall is knocked down. So in cabaret, the singer has no choice but to rip open their heart and get down to the true meaning of the words they're singing. And if not, the audience can easily call their bluff, especially because they're often within arm's reach. Much of the music you'll hear in a cabaret room is from the Great American Songbook, Gershwin and Porter and Berlin and the like. But what I love about cabaret is that there are no genre rules. I've done songs by Reba McEntire, The Supremes, Johnny Cash, and most definitely the Muppets. I had a running joke for a while that you wouldn't leave one of my cabaret shows without hearing at least one song from Sesame Street. And it was 100% true. One of my favorites is a song called When Bert's Not Here, and it's one of the most spot-on, beautiful expressions of missing your partner that has ever been written. Beneath the slapstick and just sometimes utter ridiculousness of the Muppets, their words and music were often addressing big issues and big feelings. So it's no surprise that the Muppets, like so many folks in this world, are Unitarian Universalists. Only they don't know it yet. They are intentional about treating each other well, treating our planet well, and acknowledging that everyone should be free to pursue that which helps them understand the world better. They live their lives with the intent to make the world a better place. Isn't that what we're trying to do here? For those of you who are joining us for the first time and are wondering exactly what we're trying to do here, Unitarian Universalist congregations covenant to affirm and promote 7 principles. And to be clear, the 7 principles are not commandments or dogma or doctrine. They're simply a guide. The 7 principles are what we will be exploring through the words and the music of the Muppets this morning. I'm sure you've already guessed that this service will be a bit different from our usual Sunday morning. So now for a bit of housekeeping. There will, of course, be a lot of music this morning, and it's highly likely that you'll have the urge to applaud. Get it all out now. I'm going to challenge you to resist that urge so that we can give these songs the space they deserve to breathe and live in this room with us and with our Unitarian Universalist theology. I'm also going to challenge you to put down your order of service and just come along for the ride. There are most definitely songs many of you already know, and I would hate for your already existing impression of a song to get in the way of the lens we're looking through today. And just in case you're wondering, no, we're not doing Abkadefki Jekamanakostuvritzes. But you'll probably hear most of your other favorites. We begin with a brief speech by one of my favorite residents of Sesame Street. He's a waiter, a superhero, and wiser than his round head, blue fur, and gangly body would lead you to believe. Grover.
It is not easy to be a monster.
Like, Harry breaks everything, but he cannot help it.
Is the mic on? It's not on. Why don't we start over?
Right.
Grover wouldn't like us to not
Monsters
hear
have feelings just like you.
And so you should be very kind and gentle and patient with a monster.
It is not easy to be a monster.
Like Harry breaks everything, but he cannot help it.
And Cookie eats everything, but he cannot help it.
And of course, I am cute and lovable, and I cannot help it.
So, if you see a monster in your neighborhood,
Speak to him softly.
Pat his furry little head.
And always remember the golden rule.
Be kind to your
neighborhood monster, for they are not as scary as they seem. If you see one sailing down the lane or paddling up the street, don't scream, for a monster could be somebody's mommy. And their feelings aren't exactly made of art, so offer one a piece of your salami. Be kind to the monsters in your neighborhood. Friendly and loyal, cheerful and brave, quiet, clean and honest monsters never misbehave. Hardly ever proud of our family, true to the end. Hairy but not scary monsters want to be your friend. Be kind to your neighborhood monsters, 'cause they would be so glad to hear you speak. When you see one swallowing in the mud or swallowing half the creek, don't shriek. Monster is always very mellow, and the monster always wants to do what's good. So even if it's furry, rude, and yellow, be kind to the monsters in your neighborhood. Be kind to the monsters in your neighborhood.
It's not easy being green, having to spend each day the color of the leaves, when I think it would be nicer being red or yellow or gold, something much more colorful like that. It's not easy being green. Seems you blend in with so many other ordinary things. People tend to pass you over, 'cause you're not standing out like flashy sparkles in the water or stars in the sky. But green's the color of spring, and green can be cool and friendly like, and green can be big like an ocean, or important like a mountain, or tall like a tree. When green is all there is to be, could make you wonder why wonder, why wonder I am green. It'll do fine. I think it's what I want to be. when green is all there is to be, could make you wonder why wonder why I am green. I am green. I am green, and it's beautiful. I think it's what I want to be.
Liz, you look dressed for singing.
Look at that. And dancing, always. Singing and dancing. Well, I am going to sing. Would you like to sing with me?
I suppose I could.
Okay.
Oh, I know this one.
Good. I don't. That's why I have the words. And we have some characters to help us tell this story. So let's get to it.
All right, let's do it. 1, 2. Let me tell you all a story about a girl named Lonesome Joan. When she was 3, she thought she'd try to tie her shoe alone. Her mama said, I'll show you how. She pushed her mom aside. I'll do it alone, said Lonesome Joan, and her laces stayed untied. Oh, Lonesome Joan, Lonesome Joan, felt she had to do everything alone. She said, I don't need no help, I can do it by myself. Oh, Lonesome, Lonesome Joan.
Oh, she got a little older, thought she'd learn to read and write. Her teacher tried to help her, she yelled, get out of my sight. So she never learned to write her name or even read a book. And all alone she never learned to skate or swim or count or cook.
Oh, Lonesome Joan, Lonesome Joan, felt she had to do everything alone. She said, I don't need no help, I can do it by myself. Oh, Lonesome, Lonesome Joan. Well, time went by and Joan grew old, as people sometimes will. When Joan was 81 years old, she met a guy named Phil. Phil said, Joan, it's just ridiculous, the things that you can't do. Joan, you're an 80-year-old woman. Time to learn to tie your shoe. Oh, Lonesome Joan, Lonesome Joan, you don't have to do everything alone. You can use a little help, don't have to do it by yourself. Oh, Lonesome, Lonesome Joan.
So Phil told Joan to read and write and tie her shoe and more. And Joan lived to the happy age of 144. So remember a human lesson from that old girl, Lonesome Joan. When you're trying for the first time, you don't have to try alone.
Oh, Lonesome Joan, Lonesome Joan, you don't have to do everything alone.
Yeah!
You can use a little help, don't have to do it by yourself. Oh, Lonesome, Lonesome Joan. Oh, Lonesome, Lonesome Joan.
Yippee-ki-yay, partners. So I'm going to invite our children to come up so we can not have to be by ourselves and we can learn together. And we have a wonderful recessional to go out to.
dunk in the water is just a block or two from here. And try to think of a way to make it that way. Picture a world of honey warm haze and the wind playing tag in the playground trees on summer days. And try to think of a way to make it that way. Some of us have feathers, some of us have fins, some of us are furry, some of us have grins. We swim and hop and slither, we leap and soar and run, and we all live together on a planet of the sun. We are all earthlings, we are all earthlings, spinning around together on a planet of the sun. We live in a desert, we live inside a tree, we live right on a mountain or deep beneath the sea. We live in tents and cabins, in houses just for one, and we all live together on a planet of the sun. We are all earthlings, we are all earthlings, spinning around together on a planet of the sun. Brown frog talking to a butterfly, flowers growing oh so high, skies wide open, stars so near. Just reach up and touch one from here. Picture a world where little kids run, where the sunshine is pouring love and life on everyone. Try to think of a way to make it that way. That way, floating down a river, swinging through the trees, climbing up a mountain, going with the breeze. All of us can have a happy, healthy place to be, and we all float and swim and fly in an earthling harmony. We are all earthlings, we are all earthlings, spinning around together on a planet of the sun. Picture a world, picture a world.
It is the time in our service when the morning's offering is given and received. First, we hear a beautiful musical offering, and then we share our financial gifts. 50% of what we collect goes to support the many programs of our fellowship. Today, it feels appropriate to lift up our dynamic music program. And 50% we give away to organizations of service and justice beyond our walls. Thank you for your generosity. And to all of you, thank you for your generosity.
Halfway down the stairs is a stair where I sit. There isn't any other stair quite like it. It's not at the bottom, it's not at the top. So this is the stair where I always stop. Halfway up the stairs isn't up and isn't down. It isn't in the nursery, it isn't in the town. And all sorts of funny thoughts run round my head. It isn't really anywhere, it's somewhere else instead. Halfway down the stairs is the stair where I sit. It isn't any other stair quite like it. I'm not at the bottom and I'm not at the top. So this is the stair where I always stop.
Or dusty, anything rotten or ragged or rusty. Oh, I love trash. I have here a sneaker that's rotten and worn. It's all full of holes and the laces are torn. A gift from my mother the day I was born. Oh, I love trash. Happy Mother's Day, Mom! I love trash, trash. Anything dirty or dingy or dusty. Anything ragged or rotten or rusty. Oh, I love trash. I have here some newspapers 13 months old. A wrapped fish inside it, it's smelly and old. I wouldn't trade it for a big pot of gold. Love it because it's trash. Oh, I love trash. Anything dirty or dingy or dusty. Anything ragged or rotten or rusty. Yes, I love trash. I've got this work in an old telephone, a broken umbrella, a rusty trombone, and I am delighted to call them my own. I love them because they're trash. Yes, I love trash. Anything dirty or dingy or dusty, anything ragged or rotten or rusty. Yes, I love trash.
I almost forgot I was supposed to come up here after that.
So it's my task to reflect on our fifth principle, the right of conscience and the use of the democratic process within our congregations and society at large. The Muppets and Unitarian Universalists, I completely agree with Stearns, share some values in common, including an optimistic view of human nature, animal nature, and monster nature, and an ethic that diversity is empowering. These are both required in order to believe in a system of governance for the people, animals, and monsters, and by the people, animals, and monsters. Many of the skits teach us how it is possible to make friends, to learn and to grow from spending time with beings who look like you and beings who really don't look at all like you. It is a world where friends cross barriers of class. There's a grouch who lives in a trash can and a human Maria who are friends, where love knows no bounds. Pigs and frogs can have quite the romance. And in fact, one of the first domestic partnerships, Bert and Ernie, was on Sesame Street. And it is a place where people can be forgiven time and time again. Just think about Cookie Monster. He's always stealing cookies, never fully promises that he will stop, and yet he is always welcome on Sesame Street. All people, animals, and monsters are welcome in the great family of Sesame Street and the Muppets. However, all behaviors are not embraced on Sesame Street. So all people, but not always how they behave. While the Muppets are intended to be apolitical, they are not moral relativists. Sesame Street and the Muppets take on culturally relevant moments from the past and the present, and they're not afraid to show the foibles, temptations, and lesser natures that show up in beings of all kinds from time to time. Many of the skits and musicals teach moral lessons amidst learning to count and spell. Donald Grump, was spoofed 3 times in an unflattering light. First, in the 1980s, Donald Grump tricks Oscar into giving up his trash can spot and promises to build a Trump condominium with 3 duplex homes for grouches. And then he kicks Oscar out because of the fine print that he's not allowed to have any pets. Eventually, Oscar buys back the land in exchange for 40 bags of trash, and there is a theme that runs through all 3 skits that Donald Grump is the grouch, the grouchiest and the trashiest of all grouches. Donald Grump returns in the 1990s, played by Joe Pesci, again as a builder who wants to destroy, actually Barbara Walters reports on Sesame Street that he is going to raze all of Sesame Street in order to replace it with a Grump Tower, restaurant, and theme park. And then Sesame Street will be a high-end boutique in the building. This time, Grump falls into a rage at the first sign of dissent and says, "I tried to be nice to you people. You got 2 weeks. Pack up and leave." Once again, he tries to con Oscar into leaving, since it turns out that the new residents of Grump Tower don't want to mingle with grouches. The third and final time Grump returns, he is a grouch with an orange toupee in 2005. It's a spoof on The Celebrity Apprentice, and the trash all over the set is branded this time with Grump, the Grump name. He forces a competition on Sesame Street that everyone ultimately loses. Elmo is actually the winner, but he's still fired. And in the end, he chooses 2 grouches as winners, the ones that he says are the meanest and most ineffective. After all, he has a reputation to uphold. When Trump actually became president, they asked Sesame Street if Grump would return, to which the leadership said, "It's been over 10 years since we featured the Donald Grump character, and we have no plans to bring him back. As you know, our content has always been politically agnostic. However, The Muppets Moral Center does render judgment on our current president simply by having portrayed him as a villain over the decades, even if they never take on his policies today. There are 2 times where our nation's democracy is taken up in the form of the Continental Congress. And here I remind you of our children's version of the 5th principle. We believe that all persons should have a vote about the things that concern them. In the Second Continental Congress skit on Sesame Street, they focus on a very critical vote. What should be the national bird? And of course, somehow it works out that Big Bird never quite makes it to the meeting, and he's quite offended. And Telly, as Franklin, actually advocates for the turkey, but of course, the bird with the most votes that wins is the eagle. In the 1980s, the Muppets participated in an I Love Liberty special, and the skit was introduced by Big Bird and another future television star / president, Martin Sheen, who spoke about the turbulence and turmoil that accompanied the founding of the United States in 1776. For the Muppets, it was actually one of their more serious sketches, and we see Adams, played by Fozzie, talking about the crippling taxes, cruel repression, and abolished rights they experience from Great Britain. There are some interesting elements. Again, Sesame Street and the Muppets are fearless about naming times when people are left out. Miss Piggy comes to the door, but Kermit turns her around, and she asks, "Is it because I'm a woman?" And he says, "No, not because you're a woman. There are no pigs allowed." But when we turn back into the room, we see a male, maybe chauvinist pig who is inside the room. The Muppets may not be political in the sense of red versus blue, but we see in the Muppets a vision of one America where every voice counts and everyone gets a turn at leadership.
This looks familiar, vaguely familiar, almost unreal yet. It's too soon to feel yet. Close to my soul and yet so far away. I'm going to go back there someday. Sun rises, night falls, sometimes the sky calls. Is that a song there? And do I belong there? I've never been there, but I know the way. I'm going to go back there someday. Come and go with me, it's more fun to share. We'll both be completely at home in midair. We're flying, not walking on featherless wings. We can hold on to love like invisible strings. There's not a word yet for old friends who've just met. Part heaven, part space. Or have I found my place? You can just visit, but I plan to stay. I'm going to go back there someday. I'm going to go back there someday.
Anybody's lover, everybody's brother. I wanna be a lifetime friend. Crazy as a racket, nothing in my pocket. I keep it at the rainbow's end. I'll never think of money, I think of milk and honey. Pretty like a Cheshire cat. Focus on the pleasure, something I can treasure. Can you picture that? Can you picture that?
Let me take a picture, add you to the mixture. There it is, I got you now. Anyone can do it, anyone can do it. It's easy and we all know how. Now begins a changing, mental rearranging. Nothing's really where it's at. Now the Eiffel Tower's holding up a flower. Can you picture that? Can you picture that? Fact is there's nothing out there you can't do. Yeah, even Santa Claus believes in you. Beat down the walls, begin to believe, behold, begat. Be a better drummer, be an up-and-comer. Can you picture that? Here we are winning, picking and a grinning. Lordy, but I love to jam. Jelly belly giggling, dancing and a wiggling. Honey, that's just who I am. I lost my heart in Texas. Northern lights affect us. I keep it underneath my hat. Aurora Borealis is shining down on Dallas. I give it to a Texas cat. Can you picture that? Can you picture? You got to see it in your mind. Can you picture? You know it's quick and easy to find. Can you picture? You don't have to buy a frame. Can you picture? Can you picture that? Can you picture that? Use it if you need it. Don't forget to feed it. Can you picture that?
I've noticed you're watching too. Someday you'll find it, the ring of connection. The dreamers and you. Please rise as you are willing and able and join in our closing song, Sing. Can I walk out? Among all the things this morning, I left the paper that I wrote this on upstairs, so I'm going to read it off my phone. We go forth with words from Jim Henson. Watch out for each other. Love everyone and forgive everyone, including yourself. Forgive your anger. Forgive your guilt, your shame, your sadness. Embrace and open up your love, your joy, your truth, and most especially your heart.